I know what you're thinking. Snapshot, what are you doing? This is a card game. Well, if it hasn't come out yet, I'm a fan of card games, okay? I play the crap out of some Magic the Gathering. But there's a new game that has caught my eye that I cannot stop playing, and that is Star Wars Unlimited. So I wanted to do some spoilers that just came out today. Pretty excited. Some of them are pretty exciting looking. We've got two pre-constructed decks that are coming out. One of them is led by Moff Gideon, and then it's supposed to be Command, Villainy, and Vigilance. And then we've got a Mandalorian deck that's going to be Heroic, Cunning, and Vigilance. We've only gotten 7 cards revealed plus the 2 commanders, so 9 cards on total. And we're going to go over each of them today, and hope you enjoy. All right, first up, we've got Moff Gideon, Formidable Commander. He is Command and Villainy, and he has the action tap attack with a unit that costs 3 or less. If it's attacking a unit, it gets +1/+0 for this attack. Its epic action is if you control 5 or more resources, you can deploy him. And when he deploys, he is a 3/6. 3 power, 6 toughness with Overwhelm. And he says each friendly unit that costs 3 or less gets +1/+0 and gains Overwhelm while attacking an enemy unit. So he is definitely all for the small, go wide strategy, the Trooper Imperial that we've seen. I'm pretty excited about this one with Super Laser Tech. I think could be pretty good. Just getting it in there and then getting some value out of it before it dies, and then you could use it as a resource. It seems good. I'm pretty excited about Moff Gideon. I think he's better for this strategy than we've seen with things like with Tarkin. Tarkin just giving an experience counter is good, but Moff Gideon being able to flip and then start giving the friendly units Overwhelm and the +1 is relevant. I don't think the +1 on the toughness end is as relevant as just giving them Overwhelm and having them just crash through. So I think Moff Gideon is great. Phase 3 Dark Trooper. So we've got a 3-cost Command and Villainy for a 3/3 with Sentinel, which is something we've seen before with Cell Block Guard, Royal Guard, Homestead Militia. It seems to be that 3-mana 3/3 Sentinel space. Except this says when combat damage is dealt to this unit, you can give an experience token to this unit if it survives. So that's interesting. It means that we could see it survive a little bit longer than it really should be able to. If it were to take down a unit and then still have 1 or 2 toughness left, it would then get a boost. I think that could be really good, especially if you were able to upgrade it with something else and further its survivability. I think that could get out of hand. Anything that really couldn't benefit from the Royal Guard, not running Palpatine, I think this slides in great to that role. So many decks were looking for that kind of unit and using Homestead Militia, which is, it's not terrible, but I think this is significantly better if you're in those colors. I think this is great. Calculated Lethality. It's a tactic. It's 4 cost, Villainy, and Vigilance. Defeat a non-leader unit that costs 3 or less. For each upgrade that was on that unit, give an experience token to a friendly unit. I don't know about this one. I think Takedown is just way better than this. Takedown is 4, and it requires you only be in Vigilance, and it defeats any unit. It could be a leader and 5 HP or less. So I think Takedown is significantly better than this. I can see this being, okay, but I don't know why you wouldn't just run Takedown. Gideon's Light Cruiser is a 8-cost Villainy only card, a 7/8 Imperial Vehicle Capital Ship with Overwhelm. It says when played, if you control Moff Gideon as a leader or unit, so you could have him in your leader zone or in play. Play a Villainy unit that costs 3 or less from your hand or your discard pile for free. Wow, that's pretty cool. I'm definitely not sold on this being like really, really good. I don't think it's up there with the likes of Avenger or the Decimator. Any of those I think are far better than this. But as a value card, I think this is fine. I mean, will it see competitive play? I highly doubt it, but I mean, if you go to your local shop and everybody's goofing around, I can see this being played as like a one-of or something. All right, now we're getting into the other deck that's coming out. This one is the Mandalorian, Sworn to the Creed. So we've got Mando. He is in Cunning and he is in Heroic. And when you play an upgrade, you may exhaust this leader. If you do, exhaust an enemy unit with 4 or less remaining HP. His epic action is if he controls 6 or more resources. And when he comes into play, he is a 4/7. When you play an upgrade, you may exhaust an enemy unit with 6 or less remaining HP. Wow. This guy is nuts. I mean, I may be completely wrong on this, but I really think this is going to be a good card here. Being able to just, I mean, I know it exhausts him as the leader, but who cares? You're going to exhaust one of their things. I mean, just essentially just taking away one of their turns for nothing. You have to play an upgrade, which is interesting because there hasn't been that many great upgrades. But I have a feeling when this set comes out, we're gonna get quite a few to support this. And when he flips over, a 4/7's pretty good. I mean, that's pretty healthy. And whenever you play an upgrade, you may exhaust an enemy unit. It doesn't exhaust him. He can do that multiple times in one turn. Just tapping down your guys and swinging in. I think this might actually be a lot better than the Gideon deck. I can see the Gideon deck playing a couple of guys and then getting them tapped down and just getting the beats thrown at them. So I'm pretty excited about the Mandalorian. I think this is pretty good. The Mandalorian's Rifle is a unique. It's 3 cost and in Heroic. Attached to a friendly non-vehicle unit. When played, if attached unit is the Mandalorian, he captures an exhausted enemy non-leader unit. Put the captured card face down under him until he leaves play. It gives the unit +3/+0, and this is an upgrade. This is interesting. So it is essentially an O-ring type effect. If you're familiar with Magic the Gathering, it essentially will take out an exhausted enemy non-leader unit. It'll take care of them temporarily until the Mandalorian leaves play. So that's pretty cool. I really like the flavor with that. Like he captured the bounty, and it's going to be released if he's defeated. I think that's really cool. I'm excited to see more of that. That's definitely going to be very interesting, very flavorful. As far as it being competitive, I think it's fine. I think in that upgrade deck that we were talking about with the leader, I think this fits right into that. I mean, it's a decent upgrade that is pseudo removal, and it makes the Mandalorian go from a 4/7 to a 7/7, which ain't nothing to sneeze at. Yeah, I think this is great, awesome. I would have liked from the show. I think it would have been cooler if it had just like completely defeated a unit, where he does like the overcharge shot. But I mean, I can see the whole bounty thing, capturing a unit. I think that's fine too. Yeah, this is just fine. All right, Wanted. All right, so we got a new keyword here. That's exciting. Wanted is an upgrade, costs 0 in Cunning. Attached unit gains bounty. Ready 2 friendly resources when this unit is defeated or captured. Its opponent collects its bounty. It gains +0/+0 wanted bounty condition. So this is good. I'm not in love with it, but I love the flavor. I think the flavor is really cool. So you're going to put this on a guy that you're going to defeat or capture this turn. It costs no resources, so you can play it anytime you need to. And when that unit is defeated or captured, you get 2 ready 2 resources. I think that's fine. I really think I don't like about it is that this does take a card out of your hand. It's just a little too cute. I feel like it's a lot of setup just to get 2 resources ready when Boba just kind of does that for free. I don't know. I'm not real sold on it like in a competitive aspect, but in a flavor aspect, I think this is great. I love the flavor behind this. I really want this to be a thing. I think that would be really cool, but I just feel like this is going to be one of those first cuts you make when you're trying to make the Mandalorian like really good. Razor Crest, reliable gunship. I don't know how reliable the gunship is, but Razor Crest is a 4 cost in Vigilance and Heroic. It's a 3/4 Mandalorian vehicle transport with Restore 2, and when played, you may return an upgrade from your discard pile to your hand. That's awesome. This card is great. The whole return an upgrade from discard to hand is we Mandalorian really needed that. I feel like that's going to be fantastic, and it might even make the bounty card that we saw earlier. Might even make that kind of worth it. Like now, all of a sudden, being able to return an upgrade that costs nothing back to your hand after it was defeated before, you're getting that extra use out of it. I mean, it might be decent. Or just getting anything back really. Those upgrades, because they die with the creature or with the unit that it was on. Being able to return those back to your hand is pretty huge. 3/4 is fine. It's not great. The Restore 2 is fantastic. I'm not sure flavor wise why it has Restore 2. I mean, that's fine. The Razor Crest in the show just kind of got damaged over and over. Maybe it's like a joke on that. I don't know. I wish it didn't cost 4 though. 4 is a little expensive. I feel like if it had been 3 cost with Restore 1, but maybe I'm asking for too much. I think this is just fine. I feel like the Viper Starship, the 3/3 that costs 3 with Restore 1 or Restore 2 if you have initiative, is like way better. So I don't know. We'll see. I think this is great though. I think this is just fine. I think the return an upgrade from discard to hand probably makes this playable. Our last spoiler, I had to save the best for last, is Grogu, the Irresistible. That's great. 2 cost for Cunning and Heroic. For a 0/5, he is a Force user, which is relevant. He has Action, tap into exhaust an enemy unit. That's great. Fits right in with what Mando's trying to do with the whole exhaust their guys, kind of get more of the tempo back on your side. He comes down turn 1, which is great. And I think he's going to take a little bit of, he's going to take some punishment. I mean, 5 toughness is not easy to get through. That's at least 2 attacks from most things that come down that early. And he's going to be a nuisance for sure. I can definitely see him seeing play. He's cheap enough to he comes down early and he has a relevant effect. Being able to exhaust an enemy unit, doesn't say ground, so he could exhaust a big starship in space, or a lowly Sabine or something that comes down early. So this is fine. I think this is great. I love. I'm not a big fan of the artwork in a lot of the Star Wars cards. I think some of the artwork, Han looks terrible. Not met anybody who thinks Han looks great. But I actually kind of like Grogu's artwork here. I think this artwork looks great. I think he looks, he looks cute enough without being obnoxious, and yeah, it looks great. So that'll do it for our spoilers today. Stay tuned because I do want to keep track of the spoilers. Try and release a video every time we get some out. The set doesn't come out until like July. So I don't know how many more spoilers we're going to get now in April, but I'll love every minute of the few that we get. Take care, guys. I'll see you next time.